to ask the Minister for Enterprise what regulatory requirements need to be in place in order for a grant to be awarded and how the requirements are verified.
Call the Minister for Enterprise to reply.
The Department administers a range of grant schemes. These include the Financial Assistance Scheme and the Micro Business Grant Scheme. The Financial Assistance Scheme provides assistance to help attract new start-up businesses and to encourage existing ones to expand. The Micro Business Grant Scheme helps local individuals take their first steps into self-employment. Applicants under both schemes must comply with the Enterprise Act Eligible Business Regulations 2014. These regulations set out the criteria and the conditions which businesses seeking grants must meet. These include a range of probity and disclosure requirements, including a requirement that business can be conducted lawfully in the Isle of Man. The requirements are verified in a number of ways depending on the type and level of assistance which is required. For example, in the case of the financial assistance and micro business schemes, checks are made to ensure the applicant is up to date with national insurance, income tax and VAT payments. Applicants are also asked to sign a declaration on the application form that they meet the requirements of the regulations. In evaluating applications, due diligence is undertaken and forms part of a report for formal approval. The remaining schemes are generally for small levels of assistance, and in the case of the schemes I've mentioned, there is a requirement to either comply with the eligible business regulations or, in the case of a separate TIMBL approved scheme, to comply with the requirements of a particular scheme. In addition, these requirements, the Department's main schemes, have their own set of guidelines which set out further eligibility and assessment criteria in an easy-to-understand, customer-focused format. The guidelines are reviewed on a frequent basis and are subject to departmental approval.
Supplementary question, Ms Edge.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. I thank the Minister for his run-through of all the various schemes which, I totally appreciate are in place. But can the Minister just confirm, for somebody that's applied for a grant and then they're starting on a new venture and they're applying for planning permission for that new venture and they state within the documentation for that they've received a grant, can the Minister confirm that there's not necessarily going to be approval to that planning permission, what the process will be if a situation like that arises?
Minister to reply.
Yes, indeed, we are aware of cases that do come forward that have other requirements to be lawful. Planning is one of those elements. And yes, there is a process that is in place that will ensure that that does happen. We are asked, of course, separately to support planning applications based on the economic benefit of that planning application, which is separate to a grant application. So sometimes they do cross over.